guys, do you want to do like the second half thing or?
No, we won't.
Hey guys, this is the second half, or do you want?
Hey guys, I'm just letting you know that the following podcast is actually a tangent that became its own episode because the first half was all about me addressing why this will be the intro. Yeah. Please enjoy the next half, which is about memories of Dragon Ball, which is our Dragon Ball special.
Now moving on, because now I can talk about same genetics.
Go ahead.
So, from what I found out about the Dragon Ball community, half of you guys are fucking assholes.
Isn't that like name one anime community that is filled with good boys? Like 100%. Nobody has. You've never heard anyone like complain. But like, okay, with the least amount of bad apples.
Maybe My Hero.
Okay.
Because My Hero is just like, we love the frog, we love all the boys, even the dick ass boy, even the dick.
Oh, by the way, you were right. I looked at some of the artwork for My Hero Academia in the manga, and then looking at the anime, they slimmed down those girls a lot in the anime. I don't like that.
It's easier production costs.
I know, but like
in the manga, you can tell Momo's kind of like got some chub on her.
They all do. I mean,
because they're not perfect people.
I know.
They're literally average.
I like how people complained about how Stupid Boy's mom went from like, oh, she's so hot and slim anime mom to normal.
That's Deku.
That's it's idiot boy.
Everybody like name a bigger downgrade. I'm like, that's an upgrade.
Deku's mom aging thick like that is the most realist thing ever. Like, I'm sorry that none of us can have supermodel. For me, that's like the most realistic mom thing, honestly. Like,
yeah,
like who, like having, like the idea that like somebody's mom stays like Stacy's mom for like up until like forever is dumb, and I'm glad Deku's mom aged that way. That's like because it's also funnier when she does when she like overreacts and gets over emotional because it lends itself.
Izuku, why are you looking at that fish?
My baby.
I'll be sure to record.
I'm so proud of him.
I'll be sure to record everything in HD to watch when you come back.
It's more potent when she like says, "I can't do this anymore, Deku." And because it's just like, I don't know about what your mother looks like, but like it reminds like I've seen a lot of people's moms that like age that way, and it's for me it's more. I don't know. It's more. I guess the word is like. Relatable. There we go. It's more relatable.
Also, like none of the all the teenage boys are pretty like they're muscular, but they're not like swole like anime characters.
Hold on,
like, teenage anime.
Hold on a sec.
What?
You realize a lot of teenage anime boys are not even like. I mean, was Ichigo ripped? He was never ripped.
Goku at 16.
Okay, Goku at 16
was ripped.
Okay. Let's get back to Dragon Ball for a second.
Owen.
So we'll talk about same genetics, but I just want to state for the record, for the 15th time, I really, really like Dragon Ball over Dragon Ball Z. Because it was simpler, and it told a simpler story, and I think...
It was just a boy, his best friend, and I'm not sure what you call Bulma.
His other best friend.
He
was never interested in Bulma.
No, never.
In fact, like when they first meet, just like, I don't want to see your dirty old fanny. It is not dirty, you rude little boy.
He has the 4-star Dragon Ball. He's like, give me the 4-star Dragon Ball.
By the way, I really like Bulma in Dragon Ball is such a rascal. I like her just like, hey kid, if you give me your Dragon Ball, I'll show you my underwear. I don't want to see your dirty old fanny. It is not dirty, you rude little boy.
Everybody's just like, ooh.
It's good. Like Dragon Ball is like.
Also, I miss characters like the Otz team used to be badass. I mean, he's still around, and I'm happy about that because Toriyama's just like Toriyama loves drawing him in suspenders and like grandpa clothing.
Again, Dragon Ball I still think is a superior like series because one, it ended where it needed to end.
Where Goku getting married and he beat Piccolo.
Yeah. Two, every time there was a fight, it was during a tournament, and those tournaments were always high stakes. Nobody was overpowered. They just used they just grew and they learned.
Like Tien.
Yeah.
Remember Tien used to be a bad guy, guys?
I mean, well, plus when he fought Piccolo Jr., remember, because he is the Junior. When he fought Piccolo Jr., it was like, that fight was real, you know?
Yeah.
There wasn't like, he's gonna grow a new power level!
Literally, these two are equally, like, match.
It was, God, it was good. It was a good show, it had a good run. People grew up.
Also, I like the fact that, like, I always like Chi-Chi and Goku, even though Goku's not even a really good husband.
Oh, he's terrible.
So according to... Because as a kid, I grew up with, of course, like, the Funimation dub, which made Goku look like a way better person. Than,
Oh,
like,
he's mean in the anime.
In the anime, he's kind of a dick.
But again...
And everybody's like, oh, Vegeta's a dick. I'm like, according to the creator, that's just Saiyans. Saiyans are assholes.
Yeah. Okay, but alright, so Saiyan genetics.
So according to Vegeta, when he was talking to Goku and like explaining why Trunks or Goten don't have tails, tails are actually kind of a recessive gene in Saiyans.
Oh, okay.
So Gohan having a tail is actually like a really rare thing. The fact that he grew it back twice, or like I think twice or 3 times.
It keeps coming back. What the fuck?
We have to remember when Goku got his tail cut off. Goku was like maybe 12 or something, and Gohan was only 5. So Gohan was more of a growing boy than like Goku at the time.
Right.
But yeah, that pretty much explains a lot of things.
So wait.
Tails don't go back because Tails didn't
grow
really
back only when
Tails didn't also according to from what we see about Gohan, when you cut off a tail, they only come back like probably when they're more younger. Because remember when Vegeta got his tail cut off, did it ever come back? No. Vegeta at the time was, like, older.
Oh, yeah, he was, Nappa didn't get, like, his tail.
Well, Nappa died.
Yeah. Nappa dead.
Literally, like, Goku kicked his butt, and Vegeta's like, you're no use of me anymore. And he's like, Vegeta, why? He's like, Vegeta, why? And he's like, because I'm a monkey. And then he turns into a big monkey. And then Gohan turns into a monkey. And then Yajirobe does the only thing he ever did in Dragon Ball. Z. Cut off Vegeta's tail, which is the only reason why I like Yajirobe.
He took a risk. He knew he could get like curb stomped quick, but he said someone's gotta do this.
I just wish a lot of characters in Z weren't like wasted.
Again, why Dragon Ball is a superior show? Because everybody had a real arc and nobody was stupid. Was overpowered.
Because in Dragon Ball Z, it's mostly just about the same characters, and Krillin's still around because Krillin's his boy. Because Krillin's Goku's best friend.
Like, they had real... Like, for me, like, the threats were more, like, doable. Like, Tien was way more overpowered and posed a more realistic challenge to Goku. King Piccolo.
Also, Goku
Piccolo
as a
Jr.
kid has always been brutal. He went through King Piccolo's chest.
Yeah. And then, plus Dragon Ball went on to, like, also be, like, the Piccolo of, like... Goku also grew up to be a teenager. Dragon Ball ended with Goku as like a young adult and a teenager. So we got to see like a little taste of like young Goku from Dragon Ball. Goku we see in Dragon Ball Z, you know.
Which Dragon Ball Z picks up like a couple years after Dragon Ball, and that's just because
it's funny how as Chi-Chi grew up, she adopted like the Chinese dress, the Qipao. I think that's what it's called, or a gun.
Qipao.
Okay, so anyway, she adopted that, considering that when she was a child, she ran around in like a metal bikini and like a helmet that she could throw a boomerang with. He was a kid.
Well, I don't know. Yeah,
it was weird, but it was never like.
Also, the fact that like Toriyama could have made Goku go after Bulma, but no, Chi-Chi came along, and that's fine.
I think that was fair because I think like
plus the Otsu's always liked Goku anyway.
Yeah, and plus like I think
Otsu was trained by
Bulma and Goku's relationship is more of like a older brother, like little brother and sister. It's been more sibling like.
Bulma's always trying to watch his butt, and then Goku saves her back too.
Yeah, I mean they looked out for each other. Also, Yamcha, like I like how he's like this cool bandit.
See, I like old Yamcha because Wolfgang Fist was actually.
Wolfgang Fist was good.
Also, he had that like spirit ball technique where he just like we would use his
where the fuck was that, Yamcha? You barely used it on the Saberman and then you died.
I think that was Toriyama just saying goodbye, Yamcha.
Dude, you kept bringing him back. Again, which is why I like... Again, when...
Here's the thing. I hated when Tien was wasted by Nappa, but when like Tien actually did something against like Imperfect Cell or Semi-Perfect Cell,
Kikoho.
When he just Kikoho'd Cell into like almost oblivion, that was just like redemption in my opinion.
Again, which is why Team 4-Star loves the characters more than Toriyama does, which is why they give them better characterization even as jokes. Like the idea that like Yamcha was like, I brought towels and stuff for people. Oh, Yamcha, how's it going, man? Tien, Kiko, how are you?
I think I also like the version of Android 16. Little duckling.
Little duckling. Quack. I have waited oh so long.
I just thought the phrase like...
Kill Son Goku. Kill Son Goku.
God, I think
that was my favorite scene. Is when he starts singing that stupid song by Foreigner.
He's like, you need to get a hobby. You need to get a hobby, my guy. Hobby of twined. I like birds. I don't know, like I said, like Dragon Ball. Also, Vegeta's a way better dad than Goku, and that's because Vegeta actually has a sense of family.
Wait, hold on.
So okay, it's explained. So by the way, Goku has obviously had sex with Chi-Chi at least twice. But
the only 2 times he's ever had sex with her.
But he's never kissed Chi-Chi ever.
Hold on. I'm going to finish. We'll finish this tangent, and then I'll go into my favorite childhood story of all time about what it was like to grow up in the '90s with the internet barely being a thing, and then but mostly everything you knew about like uncensored versions of cartoons being relegated to
Toonami Midnight Run.
No, Toonami Midnight Run, and then rumors.
Yeah.
But go on. Okay,
right,
finish why Vegeta is a better dad than Goku.
All right,
or better husband too.
So, Toriyama explains this when he's doing lore about Saiyans. Saiyans really don't have a sense of family at all, except for like the royal bloodline, for, like Vegeta, because keeping the bloodline intact and like actually having a family is important to them because royal bloodline and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it actually made sense why Goku doesn't have much of a sense of family, mostly just Grandpa Gohan didn't really raise him like that either way too.
Like, it sucks. He loved Grandpa Gohan.
Again, like, here's the thing. He ironically only sees his own 2 sons and Chi-Chi like they're just really good friends. Chi-Chi's a very close friend to him, I imagine. But that's honestly how he sees him, and that's in the manga. It even points it out too. And then Vegeta like obviously sees Bulma and like Trunks like his own kin because I mean why else would he just like suicide bomb Majin Buu at the end of his like little arc?
Which is funny because like the way it's funny because the way Team 4-Star portrays Vegeta is like pretty much like a reluctant husband and father. He's like a bad dad and a bad husband, but like it sort of works out because
the best dad.
Oh yeah, Piccolo's always been the best dad. It's weird. I mean, like I think that's the one thing they like the one little like subtle thing they got right about Piccolo in Team 4-Star is that like Piccolo's kind of been a more mature and responsible adult than all the characters. I mean, Tien notwithstanding.
Goku's dead. What does Piccolo do? Grab the next best option of Goku's replacement and train him.
I'll train the boy.
Also, I like the fact that out of respect, Gohan's always chose to have his D be out of like being like Piccolo's style.
Yeah. Which I like that.
Because like Goku's like, don't you want a D like mine? He's like, no.
Hell no.
He's like, no, Mr. Piccolo, give me a D like yours. Like, all right, I'll just use my clothes beam.
I love that. Here's my clothes beam, son.
He zaps D onto Gohan.
And I do like when I do like Gohan's purple gi with like the giant shoulder cape, the weighted shoulder cape. The only thing I wish
Gohan I know the best.
You know what? The only thing I wish he gave him to, I wish he gave him the turban.
There's art with I think there's Toriyama art with Gohan with the turban.
But it needs to be in the goddamn show because Piccolo wears the turban all the time.
I mean, at the same time, like, well, as Gohan got older, especially like at the end of Z, he now wears like the orange G like Goku.
Why?
Because even then, like before, during like his little training arc and high school arc, which I liked a lot. I like the little filler where like where Gohan literally goes to a high school and everybody's just like, look at this new nerd kid. He's just like, he just whoops everybody. Also, Saiyaman, come on.
Saiyaman was the best part. Ugh.
But either way, what were you gonna say? That's just my little thing on Dragon Ball. What's your little thing about?
Now you listen to me.
When
I was a child.
Okay, no, when I was a kid.
Now you listen to me.
When I was a kid, in elementary school, obviously I grew up with Dragon Ball and all these, like, anime shows.
You hot the show?
Not so much. Mostly Gundam and it was mostly Gundam and Dragon Ball. With a little bit of Rurouni Kenshin, but there were always rumors that these shows were always edited for American audiences and featured a lot more.
That's true.
Yeah, which is true. There was always a rumor that there were more adult, mature elements in it than we were given on the show. I mean, it's one thing that, like, I've heard of, like, the violence is one thing. I remember being a kid, staying over at my cousin's house, and staying up to watch Toonami Midnight Run, and watching the unedited versions of cartoon of, like, Gundam Wing, which had swearing in it. Like, so having Duo say the god of death is back from hell, that was a big deal to me, because, like, oh my god, he just said hell in a cartoon. No way. You know, that's right. Like, the first episode I watched, and he says hell, and to me that was a big swear as a kid. Now it's not, obviously.
I always told John, I'm gonna send you to hell this time.
Yeah, well, duh. But the biggest thing was hearing about Dragon Ball Z being unedited. And it's one thing
that was the main thing everybody cared about too.
Yeah, the uncensored Dragon Ball Z. And it wasn't like the violence or the swearing. It was about blood even. It was about nudity and sex. Get ready for this. So as a kid, I'd always know. Again, by the time that we got Dragon Ball Z in the States, they were like, it was already on, like, GT. So, like, we're talking about, like, Goten. It was already about Goten. Like, by the time I was in elementary school, Goten had already been a thing and had reached Super Saiyan.
At the same time,
when I visited,
at the same time, I feel like Goten's less important. He's more like Kid Trunks' lackey.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because Trunks is like a year older.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, when I was a kid, like, I used to visit my cousins in Mexico and they had a PlayStation. They already had the fighting games over there, and I was already finding out about Trunks. Just like, who's this cool Trunks guy? And then one of my friends from, like, elementary school, when we would like pick Dragon Ball Z characters that we thought were cool, we would always pick Trunks because he had the sword. Which in reality, because is future Trunks cool? Sort of. He got ganked by Cell.
He also, like, what a way to introduce a character. Have them show up and defeat the last big villain and his dad in, like, one go.
Yeah.
He cut Frieza into pieces and then just killed King Cold.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's how you introduce a new character.
Yeah, show them how cool they are. But yeah, and so, you know, we already knew that, like, the show had gone on to, like, introduce, like, Kid Trunks and Goten. And I remember when I was a kid, they talked about the scene when, because my friend, it's funny because I don't know how my friends had already seen the English dub of this, because, like, they quoted the exact same line that I would hear in the English dub years later, which is the scene, because, like, when Chi-Chi finds out that Goten became a Super Saiyan, he's like, oh no, like, no,
not another monster in the family.
Yeah, and it's funny, because then...
Fun fact.
Okay, she says that, and then years later, when they actually aired that episode on, like, Toonami, it was the exact same words, and it's like...
You want to know why? So
is the Japanese subtitle?
No. So when Funimation got the rights to dub Dragon Ball after Saban and the Ocean Group dropped it, because I think...
Thank fucking God.
But Saban gave us the Brought the Dragon.
Okay, you're right.
Brought the Dragon. Every kid knows that one. Come on.
Dragon.
Brought the Dragon.
Dragon Ball Z. That's how you get everybody pumped up for a show.
You show a big image of, like, the dragon coming out, and, like, I think that was the first because Goku had 3 voice actors.
Yeah.
So, let me give you a rundown of the Ocean.
He would later go on to do Captain Mikey.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was a really good show. All right, so fun fact. So the Ocean Group, they dubbed all the way until they never did the end of Frieza Saga.
Really?
They did this. They did Raditz's appearance up until Ginyu Force.
The whole Saiyan arc.
Whole Saiyan arc until Ginyu Force showed up and Goku literally just kicked the shit out of Raccoon.
That explains why there was a big hiatus between the Raccoon stuff.
Yeah, and that's why if any reruns of the Ocean dub would always loop back to Raditz's appearance.
Okay.
But after that, they skipped over the Frieza arc and went straight to Imperfect Cell arc. So they even skipped a bit of Android 19 and 20.
Okay.
And then it go from there all the way into the end of the Buu saga.
Okay.
But that was just a little fun fact of that when Funimation got the rights to it and their dubbing team was very small, Toei literally gave them like nothing to work on, which is why we had the Bruce Falconer store.
Okay.
Literally, Toei only just gave them like the show and didn't even give them like rips like the OST or strips. They literally had to ask the Mexico dubbing for their strips, which is why when people say like they already seen this part and it's exactly word for word, the English version was literally translated from the Mexico dub. So when Chi-Chi makes the quote of like another monster in the family,
hold on,
in the Mexico dub.
What year was this?
This was
this isn't a friend. This isn't a friend who saw the dub in Mexico. This is a friend. This is an American friend who had already seen that scene and quoted that scene in English, word for word. I mean, are you trying to tell me that did the original Japanese dub have that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the Mexico dub kept a lot of Japanese stuff and.
Well, duh, because they do it better.
Literally, honestly, Mexican dubs of like really just Spanish dubs of shows of animes work really well too. Honestly, like the Spanish Goku's a man.
Oh yeah.
I mean more of.
If I ever got a box set of Dragon Ball, I would only watch it in Spanish. As much as I love like the English dub of it,
I think the Funimation does have the.
I fucking hope so, because that would make my day.
Guys, if you ever want to send me something, send me the whole complete series of GT. Just GT though.
In Spanish.
In GT in Spanish.
Because I would have cousins. We were on like the Frieza arc,
and
they were already on Majin Buu.
Yeah. Like for example,
sabes Majin Buu? What? Majin Buu? No, I don't know that. But which is funny because but it's funny because the tables turned
and we barely had fish face cell.
Because it's funny because the tables turned one time as I got older and I went to visit my cousins later on, around when Naruto was airing here in the States.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, like you got Naruto first. What's happening in Naruto now? Because I need to know. You guys got it first.
We got Orochimaru, like who?
Yeah, it's funny because so now you're coming to me for all the anime spoilers. After all these years of you spoiling Dragon Ball Z, you come to me for Naruto spoilers.
Like we barely have like Gohan doing his high school shenanigans, and then like they'd be up to like Super 17 arc in GT.
Yeah.
I don't know, like GT was whack. I liked it as a kid though. I always wrote the GT DVDs from Hollywood Video.
Yeah, of course.
Even though I didn't like Baby at all. Shoot, he was weird.
Yeah.
But
anyway, okay, so like I said, sorry, that was a long tangent. But anyways, so that scene where Goten becomes a Super Saiyan, he's naked. Goku's naked too, remember?
Oh, really?
This paddling of the swollen ass.
Hold on. No.
Yeah.
No, he literally just goes. I mean, Vegeta was shirtless when he was training with Trunks for some reason.
No, remember the first time it was at nighttime and Goku was standing outside of their house. He was butt naked with his arms like this, and Chi-Chi was running after Goten, trying to like.
Goten or Gohan? One
of those two kids. And there was a scene where Goku is naked.
Because Goku literally, just like the hillbilly he is, he takes a bath in an oil barrel that's just warm to the water, and he just chills out in there. Seeing Goku naked was actually pretty common in Dragon Ball.
Oh, because he's a kid.
Z. No, in Dragon Ball Z even.
That's true.
And we've seen Gohan naked.
This is the one. Oh wait, that's what Gotenks.
Yeah. When was this? What a weird pose.
Also Gotenks is naked too.
I love thinking about the scenarios of like, so, because remember everybody remembers Vegito, because he was like, because he literally just like messed with kid with.
Oh, it's during the Majin Buu arc.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there was rumors of that that image, but also
so, was it rumors that like you could see Goku's dong?
No, there was just the fact that he's the first time he tries to teach Gotenks how to be Super Saiyan. They're both naked for some reason. I can't remember what the context of that image is.
Toriyama's just goofing.
But the biggest rumor, when I was a kid, was so as you know,
Broly.
Oh, Broly has always been his kids would buy Broly action figures from the flea market where he had his neon green hair.
Do you find that weird that Legendary Super Saiyan set has always kind of been like neon green?
Yeah. I thought it was weird. It doesn't make sense. It should just be yellow.
Oh, the Usas are Broly?
Broly was big amongst the Mexican kids I grew up with.
Because he's super swole. The more muscly your character is, the more Mexicans love him. Or the more edgier he is. Because here's the top two anime characters top three anime characters that Mexicans like in general. Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho, Broly, and Sasuke.
Ichigo.
And Ichigo. Mexicans love Ichigo too.
They love Bleach.
The funny thing is, Deer Simulator was a bigger fan of Bleach than I was. I didn't
like it.
Didn't like too much.
I could never get into it.
I was pretty much just watching Naruto during that whole time.
Anyways, no. So here was the biggest rumor. So as a kid, because of the rumors of the uncensored Dragon Ball that shows all the blood and there was the blood, there was the swearing, but then there was rumors of a sex scene. I don't know why I'm pussyfooting around. There were rumors of a sex scene between Vegeta and Bulma. Yeah, first it was between Goku and Chi-Chi, and then the second one was Vegeta and Bulma. And all these kids were like, "Yeah, man, there's totally like a sex scene that they cut out. Like if you go watch the original Japanese versions, you can see the scene. You can watch Bulma and Vegeta's wedding night. You can totally see it and put it in her." And as the kid is like, "Whoa, that's
Vegeta
nuts."
and Bulma never got married like openly in the show.
I know.
I think literally Bulma just like Vegeta signed this paper. He's like, "Why?"
Just sign it. I'll make you rich. Oh well, all right.
Okay, but
I guess a Saiyan prince needs his fortune.
You know what? You want to know the funny thing, if you remember, because you've seen Dragon Ball. Bulma always wanted to be a princess, and Vegeta is a Saiyan prince. So by marrying Vegeta, Bulma
is a princess.
Yeah.
Shouldn't Vegeta be a king now?
Technically, yeah.
Dumb family politics.
Always like you guys can only call him Princess Trunks. All hail Princess Trunks.
Anyways, so yeah, there were always rumors of these alleged sex scenes of Goku plowing Chi-Chi and Vegeta and Bulma plowing Vegeta.
Bulma plowing Vegeta.
It's only fair. So yeah, there was always these sex scenes.
It's implied during like the week.
This is the 90s. These were elementary schoolers who.
It's openly implied because in the Cell Saga during like the week they had before they had to fight Cell that like Goku and Chi-Chi did do the dirty deed.
No, but here's the funny part. The context is hilarious to me in retrospect because we were all elementary schoolers. We had heard there was always like we'd grown up around this idea that the original Japanese versions were more mature than the ones we got, and it's always been backed up because there were like magazines at the time that would show screenshots of like the original Japanese ones. Case in point, Digimon, the hot spring scenes where we got to see all the boys' butts.
I don't know why Japan really likes male man asses.
It's because it's funny.
Like for example, just Goku.
He has a really toned ass though. Toriyama can't draw asses, or when he draws.
Toriyama loves drawing asses. Are you kidding me? The new character in Dragon Ball Super Jiren, Toriyama loves to have like shots of him from behind, and he wears a skin tight suit. Toriyama, are you like?
He loves drawing ass.
He loves drawing man ass. Are we gonna knock him for it?
It's funny because
are we gonna knock Toriyama for it?
No, it's funny because in retrospect, Toriyama doesn't really draw that sexual like women. Like he doesn't draw
Chi-Chi and Bulma are like
they're pretty modest. And if there's any like sex thing, it's always like a joke with like women. But with Toriyama, he loves drawing man ass.
For example, Android's. This is so funny because it's even to the point where like Android 18 in like in the current like Super arc, she's wearing a pretty like loose, like tracksuit to fight. She's not wearing like her classic like Red Ribbon Army stuff. She's just wearing a tracksuit while you got like characters like Jiren, the big like guy Goku's out of fighting like the skin tight.
I think Toriyama's I just think Toriyama isn't comfortable drawing the female anime, which is why he always just prefers to draw them in like loose clothing that hides everything. Because it's just like
Chi-Chi's key pal. Bulma even doesn't. Even Bulma doesn't.
He's not cool. I think he just maybe comes from like his love of Professor Slump. Which, by the way, I found copies of that manga over at Bizarro World in Davis.
That makes sense.
I think he respects women more.
Also, Arale is in the Dragon Ball universe.
Yeah,
Professor Slump is a character. She showed up in Dragon Ball, and then she had an arc in Super.
Wow, huh?
But Toriyama loves his old work.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, but no, so there. But here the context is hilarious because here's the thing: all of this sprung from it just takes
from kids.
It takes one kid who has a cousin who's a teenager who has seen way more fucked up bootlegs and ovas from like the video store or like honestly, or from like a comic book store.
My time visiting Japantown and just going to second anime. I've there's one thing in Japantown where like there was we went to this video store and there was like the back room like hentai section and I walked into it. First thing I see Dragon Ball at Sailor Moon, Goku versus Usagi.
Yeah, that's the thing because like
I looked on the back and like I should have just see Goku like going to town on Usagi.
And that's the thing because I feel like all these things come out of that. You know, like it just comes out of like.
Just like
it takes one kid's teenage cousin to have watched one hentai on a bootleg to tell his little cousin
do you think in like flea markets you would have did you ever find like bootleg hentai? I always hear people saying they did. They always did.
That may or may not have been the case. I never found it. I always found like really like bad rips, like DVD rips of like cartoons, man. Like, to the point where they had, like, really bad... This is clearly printed on, like, a low-res 4-color printer, right? Like, you can see the fading here.
Also, I love when... I love how to attract the kids, they got, like, OG Super Mario music playing. And then you go up to the TV screen and just see, like, this really bad, like...
Ninja Scroll?
Ninja Scrolls. No, because remember, like, always at, like, flea markets, you see, like, this, like, CRTV just placed out on the table in the corner with like this plug and play system, and to attract the kids, always be like OG Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a kid,
but yeah, man. Like to me, that's just it's funny because like
also DJ
being told that we're talking about this guy again.
No, not today.
No, like just being told that like there existed a these deleted sex scenes from our beloved cleansed American versions, just solely based on the idea that like some kid probably saw like a bootleg hentai of that, or
I imagine the kid's teenage cousin has like an old Microsoft 2000 computer XP or something. No, it was like year time, so probably like 90.
This is before New Guy, so you can't say it was like that.
No. There's probably some old 90 computer. Probably went some image boards or like or whatnot, or like some messaging boards.
Probably saw something he thought was a screenshot.
But I saw a screenshot of like because.
Or I mean, it's either that
Dragon
or
Ball hentai is not a new thing. Toriyama's fully aware, and he's just kind of like. He's like,
I don't care anymore.
He's honestly just like, guys, Goku and Vegeta are family men.
Sort of.
He honestly has said like Goku is generally not the person to even have sex. Don't see Chi-Chi tricking him.
Oh, that's an ugly image.
I mean, I imagine Bulma and enticing Vegeta being an easier thing, but I imagine like Chi-Chi's probably gotta like convince Goku.
I'm pretty sure both of them are pretty asexual.
Imagine Goku being like useless, like, no, I'm not getting up from this chair.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because like, it either takes one kid, one like horny teenager being told, like misunderstanding something and then telling his younger cousin because he's trying to be cool and edgy to him, or having some kid who has a slight understanding of like censorship and how it's things are edited for American consumership, and then trying to be cool by lying to their younger relative, you know. It just takes that to start off this whole like wildfire of rumors.
I always find that interesting though, because I remember personally, like, so here's how much of a loser me and Dear Simulator used to be. We would go down to our public library and go on like old like 2006 YouTube and watch like Naruto Shippuden episode 28, part 1 of 4 with really bad subs. And it'd be like the data of Naruto fight.
We grew up in the age. You came of age in the time of like. Of like fan dubs and subs before like.
Like even then certain things like Plastic Nissan doesn't even have an official sub.
No, but
official sub even.
Which is weird, but it works for what it has. But yeah, man, it's just. We're in like the golden age of like dubs and subs right now, guys. Enjoy it.
You guys are better like praise Crunchyroll, even the fact that like Crunchyroll, step up your game. You expect me to pay $8.99. You expect me to pay like $12 a month to watch subbed anime when I just go to Kiss Anime and wait an hour after you guys do your hour,
or go to wait Kiss Anime, use Trojan virus Hitman a few times because your computer's been hacked, because every Kiss Anime website that they start over always ends up getting overrun by Trojan virus pop-ups.
It's way better now.
Oh, thank God.
Like honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I had a Crunchyroll subscription, and then I'm just like, screw it, I'll just watch stuff on Kiss Anime.
Yeah.
At least Kiss Anime gives me the option to download the episode anyway. Step up your game, Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll doesn't even have native 1080. Kiss Anime has the option of 1080 if you feel like being frisky that day.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my argument about how we should probably expect more from websites like Crunchyroll and Funimation doing their dubbing. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind supporting Funimation, but come on, Crunchyroll. Give me more bang for my buck.
So this is a nice little change of pace, because normally we complain about YouTube, and this time we're actually talking about Dragon Ball, one of our favorite subjects. So Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, the whole Dragon Ball franchise.
I didn't talk so much about GT, but
we didn't talk about Super that much either, but it's mostly our memories of growing up around Dragon Ball and
and kind of like early days of like anime rumors, stuff like that.
So I guess we're just gonna end the podcast here.
So if you guys want to see me dub the entirety of Naruto the movie, please donate to Saber's Patreon. All
right. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, guys.
On behalf of the staff and management of Czech Television, we hope you have enjoyed our evening programming and that you will be able to join us again tomorrow.